Do you find yourself not having enough time or feel like you can't put enough effort into making good social media posts for your business? My name is Dylan Smith, and I'm a video strategist and production company that helps businesses make more money through video, solving problems for them, helping them reach their goals through video and photo. I've also been posting on social media consistently 3 times a week for both LinkedIn and Instagram. And as long as you're B2B, I would say 3 is a good point. If you're like a public space, you sell goods, you're a bakery, you're a coffee shop, maybe 3 to 7 or 3 to 5 might be a good point. But still, you don't have to spend a ton of time on social media. It's all about keeping it simple, making really effective content that still provides value to your customers and still shows yourself as an expert. Tip number 1 is sort of a mindset thing in that what you do as a business, whether you're a bakery, you're a construction company, you're a manufacturing company, you're a nonprofit, plumber, whatever it is that you do, what you do is interesting. What you do is interesting to somebody. To me, I personally enjoy going to other businesses to go film what they do because I get to step in their role. I get to see what they're doing. And to me, that's super interesting. And someone else will find it interesting too, especially if that's foreign to them. What is normal to you is foreign to someone else. And therefore, someone will be interested in seeing what you do. Step number 2 is process. Process. So really think about what you do on a day-to-day basis. You're a bakery. You make cakes every day. You're a coffee shop owner. You got baristas making coffee. You're a construction worker. You're tearing down buildings. You're constructing buildings, whatever it is that you're doing in your construction business. You're a plumber. You're going underneath the house and you're doing all the things that you do, and think about whatever processes that you can sort of identify. Now you take that process and you set up your phone. You don't want to complicate things. You don't want to say, oh, I got my GoPro. It's all about keeping everything as simple as possible. Keeping it simple. So I use my phone for everything. Despite me having big cameras and institutional cameras and drones, you make social media content using all those things. But I just want to keep it simple. I just want to be able to edit on my phone immediately, not have to take it to a computer, not have to offload footage to something else. You want to keep it simple. You want to spend the least amount of time on this stuff. Use your phone for everything. You can film this process without taking any time away from your day. How do you do it? You set your phone up and link down the description to stands that you can use for your phone, how you can easily set up your phone on a stand, hit record, and just go do your thing. As long as the phone can see what you're doing, then it's great. For me, it's interviews. I have these large lights and large cameras, and I set up interviews that look really high-end and really professional. Usually it takes about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Take my phone, put it in the corner, and just hit record, and now I have a 30-minute video. Now, like I said, you could film with time lapse, but for me, I like to have options. I will take that 30-minute video, throw it into CapCut, and within like less than a minute, it turns it into a 10-second sped up video. Now I have 2 versions of that video. I then can take little sections from that video, let's say me raising up a pole, or me setting up a camera, or maybe I have someone shaking my hand. I have all these moments that I have now in real time and not sped up time. And then I have the sped up video that is now 10 seconds. The video can start with that 10-second video, and then I can have all the slow points too, or however it is that I want to do it. Then I can take that video, put a voiceover on it, maybe add some context or some value, really talking about what I did or how I set up this interview. Applies to you too. If you're a construction worker and let's say you're taking down a wall, that just is really visual to me. You and your crew taking down a wall. You can then talk about, we decided to take down the wall this way, or we decided to take down the wall because it would make the space more open. Whatever it is that you want to say that provides more value, that kind of shows yourself as the expert you are. At the end of the day, you want to provide value. You want to show yourself as an expert, because that's the expert you are, because you're an expert at construction. You're an expert at baking. You're an expert at making coffee. Whatever it is that you do, you're an expert at. And now you're building content. Now that you've made your first post using that time lapse, now you have that time lapse on your phone ready to go to use at a later date. Because here's the deal. No one is going to watch every single piece of your content. Some content's going to flop, some content's going to do super well, but the more consistent you are, you shouldn't really get up on like, oh, I posted this video and it didn't get that many likes. You should just keep consistent and know that not everything is going to work super well, but as long as you keep consistent. What I've done is at the end of a month, I will take just videos, all these behind the scenes videos, time lapses that I've shot in the past, and I will just just put them all together, and that could be its own video. Like, here's the highlights for this month, and it could be just really funny things. It could be whatever it is that you have. It could be a montage, and then you have a voiceover to go with it. Hey, here's everything we did this month. If you are in construction, then maybe you tearing that wall is like kind of like part one, or like the first post, and then you have like the next step, like you've now tore down that wall in that living room and it's now connecting the kitchen, and now you have another video that is from a different angle of you guys cleaning it up or you guys doing something else, and it's sort of like a part one to that. Like, it's almost like you do a whole series just on that, and just using your phone set up in one spot and you voice over it. Like I said, keep it super simple. So I know someone's going to be asking about captions. Captions are SEO at this point, search engine optimization. So captions are simply there to tell social media, tell Instagram, tell the internet what your video is about. Most people aren't going to read your captions, and once you understand that, you then know that yes, someone's going to read my captions. My captions need to be grammatically correct, but what is in my captions doesn't have to be so detailed. So for me personally, I've came up with a caption format where I simply just copy a caption from a similar type of video, and I will just change certain things like, oh, we filmed this yesterday, oh, we filmed this last week. I just change little things like that, or change the client name, or change a little bit of the wording, but not too much. Usually spend about a minute on the caption, done, easy, move on from there, because no one's going to be reading it. Type of things like you having your city in there, or you having the fact that you're a bakery in there, will help new people find your posts that are local, whatever it is. Now, honestly, there's sometimes I've used the exact same captions. It didn't change anything if it was with the same client, and nobody knew the difference. Nobody called me out for it, because like I said, no one's going to be reading the captions, and no one's going to be seeing every single one of your posts. Same thing with hashtags. They're just keywords. They're just things that allow more people to find your stuff. Doesn't matter as much as people think it does. Here's something you got to understand is the first time you do this, it might take you a little bit. Like I said, I had to make that caption format. It might take you a while to come up with that caption the first time, but then once you get it, it's sort of plug and play. The first time you do this, it might take you 30 minutes to make a post. A couple months of doing this, like I said, 3 times a week, post on LinkedIn and Instagram. But ideally, once you do this enough, posting 3 times a week should take you about an hour a week, and that is what I spend on social media. I try not to do any more than that. Like, once I've kind of done 3 a week, I'm like, okay, any other ideas I have or any videos that I have that I filmed that I could use, I'll just do next week. And therefore, I never run out of stuff to post. Everything builds on each other. I truly believe that this advice can work for anybody. Whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a construction worker, whether you work in manufacturing, whether you're a coffee shop owner, whatever it is that you do, this will work for you. And if you don't think it'll work for you, or you can't think of any ideas, comment down below. Tell me what industry you're in. Tell me what job you do. Tell me what your day-to-day looks like, and I can tell you exactly what you need to film. Once you get this ball rolling, then it'll become a habit. If you truly don't have enough time, you put all these steps in place, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you, love to figure out what I can do for you if you're in that place. If you do have the time, or you think you might have an hour every week to do this, which you should be able to take an hour every week to do this, because it helps in your business, it's getting you more customers, then comment down below. I'd love to be able to just talk to you, figure out what you can film, how you can film it, and like I said, only take about an hour every week to be able to do this. And like I said, when you first start doing this, it might take you 2 hours to do all this, but it shouldn't take you that long. And if it is taking you more than that, then you're not keeping it simple enough, and you got to sort of think, how can I keep this more simple? How can I spend the least amount of time on this as possible? This is a muscle. This is something that you might have to work at, and not everyone's going to be able to do it immediately. And once you understand that, and once you sort of just take baby steps with this, you'll eventually get good at it. Not take a lot of time to do it, and you'll be getting yourself more business. If you found anything useful from this video, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.